Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. We record these interviews so that potential buyers can learn more about the business and the seller to help them make an informed buying decision. If you would like to learn more about this business, including details like what type of business it is, how much revenue and profit it makes, and all of the assets included with the business, simply visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for this business's listing number, which you can find in the video thumbnail and in the description. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. So without further ado, let's get into this interview. First up, let's learn a little bit about you. Can you tell us about your background in building and running online businesses?
My name is Hendrik and I'm 30 years old. I'm from Germany. And I'm running online businesses now for about 10 years. I started my first project in 2015, which was a little advertising network with pop-up ads. And well, I kind of did it on the side. I actually studied economics, and this was like my student job. So I always try to do these kind of projects on the side. And this particular one, which I'm selling here on Empire Flippers, I launched in 2023 because I thought that AI was a really interesting thing to use for small businesses. So I launched this platform aimed towards small business owners to incorporate AI into their business and use it to create marketing copy and basically all kinds of marketing copy and marketing content like articles, ads, LinkedIn posts, and even PowerPoint presentations to run their business. It is actually two tools, one for automating their blog to be found in search engines, and the other one is a general AI platform, which is similar to Jasper.ai, which became really popular in the last couple of years. And I created this project with the same goal in mind to provide this AI so that basically everyone can use it. Freelancers, marketing agencies. We also have a lot of doctors and lawyers who use this for their websites to create articles and to create like content and ads with it. And yes, it works really well for them.
Why are you selling the business now instead of keeping it and growing it further?
Well, I spent basically every day of the last 3 years on running and on creating this. I developed it all myself. I created all the features, all the code. And eventually, you kind of get sick of it. I feel like it is time for something new. I want to maybe change industries. But obviously, AI isn't going away. I think these two projects absolutely have the ability to be scaled much larger and much further than I was able to do it. Trailing 12-month profit is $172,000, which is pretty stable. But I can easily see that you would be able to double it if you just invest more into ads, especially into ads for recurring subscribers, to grow the revenue and also to increase the customer base. You can also try to add new features aimed towards AI visibility, because that has been, at least since the beginning of this year, a huge topic which kept being asked by users, because businesses want to appear in the results of ChatGPT and other AI engines and the Google AI search overview. So this is absolutely a huge opportunity to further grow these tools and to further grow the number of customers.
Can you describe the amount and the type of work that you do on this business to maintain it?
Well, actually, to operate these businesses, you need to answer customer tickets, customer support emails. We receive them mainly for two reasons. There are basically two topics which cause the most emails, the most support requests, which is how to redeem the AppSumo lifetime deal codes. And the other question is, how can I connect my WordPress blog? I already automated them, like I have created an autoresponder which provides detailed instructions to these support queries. But you can, of course, outsource the support like a virtual assistant from the third world. The type of questions are basically really easy to answer and they just repeat over and over. It's not very difficult. And well, besides doing this support work, I'm also designing new ad creatives. You need to create new creatives at least once a month because the old creatives eventually get saturated because the audience has seen them and they start to perform worse. So you have to either do that yourself or you have to hire someone to create these ad creatives for Facebook, like videos and graphics. For example, I used AI video generators to create like avatars who present the platform and who show the features and stuff like that to make them accessible and interesting. If I had to guess, if you would do all of that yourself, you would only spend about 5 hours per week on it. Of course, if you plan to add new features and also do development work, this can vary and it's possible that you would need more time, but just operating them doesn't really require that much of time.
So, if you were to keep this business, what are some of the ways you would try to grow it?
Actually already implemented a lot of changes in the recent weeks. It's not like I let the tools sit stale. I added new elements on the landing pages, updated the landing pages, I added new features like Gemini, Banana for product photos, which means that you can provide the URL of your product photo with a bowing white background, and the AI has different kind of backdrops where the product can be placed on, which replaces the professional product photo shooting. So you can, for example, have your product sit nicely on a table in sunlight or like in nature or in all kinds of different backdrops to use it for your e-commerce store. I also started to introduce new features aimed towards AI visibility. These are things I would proceed. I would also probably completely replace the landing page of Whiteseed because it is now 3 years old and it starts to show its age. I would completely replace it and I would further aim it at SEO features and further grow this type of feature and further focus it on that. I would also increase subscription price because at the moment we only charge the subscribers for Whiteseed $15 per month, which isn't very much. And I would increase the price to about $29. And I would also introduce bigger tires, which you can share with the team for $49 and $99. So to further grow the revenue. And I would also start to advertise to gain more recurring subscribers because that is something which I haven't done. The current ads I've run in the past year have only been focused towards the lifetime deal on AppSumo. I haven't run any ads for monthly subscribers because lifetime deal customers have just been more profitable. The profit margin is way bigger and the payback period is also way shorter. So I focused on that. But of course, if I was to keep it, I would also start to run ads again for the monthly subscribers. And I would probably also implement an affiliate program.
Right. And what would you say are the biggest risks with this business that buyers should be aware of?
I wouldn't say there's one biggest risk. I would say there are just the normal risks every business can face, which is that there aren't enough new customers and that the revenue drops and that the competition is too big, like risks like that. But honestly, After running it for such a long time, it's basically only a matter of how much of free cash flow you reinvest into the business each month. What I did in the past year was trying to maximize the profit, which means I have invested less into the business and into ads. And that's why the revenue is slightly down. But if you would decide to run the business at break even for, let's say, a couple months, a quarter, or even half a year, you could substantially grow the revenue again, because you just need to imagine if you would invest like 10 or 15,000 US dollar each month into ads, there would be like a huge potential you would have no matter what platform you use. If you want Google ads or Facebook ads, that would be a huge force to grow new revenue and to gain new business.
How much support are you willing to offer the buyer who acquires this business?
Well, I'm able to provide 2 months of full-time support to help them to transition, to move the servers and the websites, the technical aspects without a downtime, and also to help with the operating aspect. I would also transfer the Facebook ads account. I would show them how to run the Facebook ads. I would show them how to run the AppSumo account, how to deal with customer requests, how to keep the business operating, how to keep it being profitable, and how to maximize to the best of my abilities. And of course, I would be available for these 2 months. I would also work with them on implementing new features. I already mentioned a new landing page for WhiteSeed. That would be something I would be willing to help with. And yes, to make this a successful transaction and to keep the business successful for the long term, because I've obviously no interest in buying these assets and then failing with them down the road, having to shut them down. That would be, after spending so much time and so much work on them, that wouldn't be in my interest.
Are you open to negotiating something like an earn-out agreement?
Oh yes, I would be open to an earn-out or to a part of the purchase price to be paid with seller-based financing. That would probably be about 30% at the most. So which means 70% has to be put up in cash and 30% could be based on an earn-out structure over a period of months and directly from the profit that's generated by the business, which would mean that you can lower your risk and your capital commitment, and that you could reduce the risk of the transaction. And I would absolutely be ready to agree to that.
Okay, final question. If you had to put yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why is your business a business worth buying?
Oh, well, this business is priced very competitively. You would only need a little over 1 year at the current profit to make back all the money that you invested. And of course, because these are two individual platforms which are completely separate, you could also decide to just keep one of them and the other one after a period of time, which means that you are very flexible in how you operate this. And also you would be very flexible in how you plan to recoup your investment. It also means that it is more diversified in that regard. And yes, honestly, I think this is something which could be easily grown much further, much bigger than I did. You would only need to launch a Facebook ad campaign, increase the price, and yes, we invest 3 monthly cash flow into the business to really grow the revenue. And as you are surely aware, AI isn't going anywhere, and it will be a huge topic for small to mid-sized businesses to implement that into their daily operations and to utilize it for marketing purposes. So I think this is still a very attractive business, and it is priced so cheaply that, it is not an outrageous valuation. So that's why I think this is a very attractive listing.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this business is still for sale, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for this business listing number, which you can find in the video thumbnail and description. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you'll find everything you need to know about this business. So, thanks for joining us. See you next time.